Well, I think I did it, guys. I think that I finally found the thirstiest man on Earth. And the craziest part about it is that the whole thing was caught in 4K. This man's name is Jared Porter, and in December of last year, he was hired as the New York Mets general manager. This was a moment Porter had been waiting almost 2 decades for, since he started working in the wonderful world of sports, and more specifically, Major League Baseball. And he really did start from the bottom of the gutter with some pretty crappy jobs. It would almost be like going from the secretary to the CEO of a company over the course of 18 years. So needless to say, this was a major accomplishment that was only made possible through Porter making quite a few good decisions, and in general having a good track record as both a professional and someone who understands the game. But only 1 month after the Mets announced their latest GM, Jared Porter has been fired after dozens of text messages leaked where this guy was trying to get his freak on with a reporter whom he had met back in 2016. This was back when he was the director of all scouts for the New York Mets, and although she's choosing to remain anonymous in fear of public backlash in her home country, here's what we know about her. She was a reporter from Brazil who the Mets hired in 2016, and she barely spoke or understood a lick of English. And I know some of you were saying, well, why would they hire her then? But seeing as baseball is a major sport out in these Spanish countries like Cuba, the Dominican Republic, and Brazil, it actually makes a lot of sense that she would be out here in America as a reporter. So that same year, she met Jared Porter at an event in Elevator, and the two exchanged phone numbers. Later that night, she received a text from Porter, and the two continued to text back and forth for the next few weeks, despite the fact that she spoke very limited English. Then it all went downhill once the picture started when he sent a selfie, to which she replied with a selfie of her own. This is when he said, "You're gorgeous. Do you want more of me?" She then replied, "Yes." This is when Porter sent a barrage of photos, including 2 more selfies and a picture of him sitting in front of what looks like a hotel television with a bulge in his pants. This man was out here showing off the D print. He asked her if she liked this, and she replied, "Yes. You are not married?" To which Porter responded, "Nope. Which picture do you like the most? Want to see more?" And after this, he never received a response again, as the woman started to kind of catch on to what he was trying to do. But that didn't stop him from sending over 60 more messages to her over the course of the next few months. These messages including but not limited to more bulge pictures, texts like, "Am I annoying you?" and a constant request for the two to meet up. The next time he would come across her in person was in passing at Wrigley Field, where he sent her these messages. "Are you at Wrigley? I think I just saw you. You're so beautiful." To which he of course received no response, and at the time the anonymous woman said she was scared and hiding from Porter and didn't want anything to do with him. And I know some skeptics out there might be thinking that she never should have even said that she liked his selfie and said yes to his bulge to begin with. But you guys have to understand that she barely spoke English, and in her words, she felt very awkward to tell him no, with him being in such a high position of power within the organization she worked at. Also, there's no excusing sending someone 60 text messages in a row when they don't even respond once. It's called taking the hint, dumb fuck. She obviously wasn't interested, but she was trying to remain polite. And since he knew she was staying in Chicago at that time, the next day he texted her an invite to his hotel he was staying in, saying it was one of the nicest in all of the country, including more than 20 photos of food from the hotel, a pool, his bathtub in his room, and of course, another bulge pic. And then finally, in a last minute attempt, he just flat out sent a D pic along with several other messages asking where she was. She then texted him with the help of a friend saying, "This is extremely inappropriate, very offensive, and out of line. Could you please stop sending offensive photos or messages?" To which Porter responded, "Oh, I'm sorry. I will stop. I really apologize. Please let me know if you need anything work-wise." And that was all he wrote. He knew that he had fucked up in one of the worst ways possible. And I guess he kinda had thought this had all blown over, but now 4 years later it's really coming back to bite him in the ass, and there's a chance this guy will never work in professional sports again. So how do I feel about this? In my opinion, if he had just sent the D pic after she said that she wanted to see more, Like immediately after? Okay, maybe he just had a lapse in judgment and there was some miscommunication. But this man was 60 messages deep with no reply, still sending out the wang. And that's just inexcusable to me. I mean, this is harassment, especially considering they worked for the same organization. Just listen to me one time, guys. Do not ever send an unsolicited pic of your tallywhacker. I wouldn't even send a picture like that at all unless you really trust that person. Also, learn how to take a hint. This guy was damn near 40 and he still wasn't getting it. I mean, someone called the horny police. Like, if a girl doesn't respond to you twice, and especially 3 times, it's time to give up. Just move on to the next one, man. Cause really, look at what it cost this guy who worked his whole life to get this position, and then he lost it all cause he was thinking with the wrong head. I don't know, I just don't really feel bad for him in this situation. And as for the reporter, she's apparently returned to Brazil and has left the field of journalism altogether. She has no plans of pursuing legal action and says she was merely looking out for other people who Porter might have tried to take advantage of in his newfound role with a lot more power. Either way, let me know what you guys think about this story down below. Kind of a crazy one, right? We're seeing these people more and more, man. They're being exposed by their dry snitching cell phones. Caught this man in 4K. But I appreciate you guys watching today. I appreciate y'all subscribing. It's been your boy, the Tan Superman, and I'm out. Peace.